Okie dokie, since I recently visited my new favorite theme park, I also got to ride a coaster from a brand new manufacturer I couldn't wait to try a coaster from. Wodan Timbur coaster in Europa Park in Rust, Germany was my first ever wooden coaster by American manufacturer Great Coasters International, and I can happily say that I have not been disappointed. This massive 2012 Woody with 24 riders per train is a beautiful, chaotic, and relentless thrill coaster compared to what I have ridden before, and I will in today's review give Wodan a score out of 10 in 7 different categories, in order to give a final score from the 7 given scores. First though, let's see how big and fast this ride is. Wodan Timbur Coaster is, as of 2019, Great Coasters International's tallest roller coaster, as well as the world's 7th tallest Woody at 131.3 feet. The length, however, isn't much to brag about at 3,444.9 feet, but is certainly made up with a speed of 62.1 miles an hour, also making it one of GCI's fastest coasters. The first category is about Wodan Timbur Coaster's appearance, and I gotta say wow. Wodan is a beautiful roller coaster with an incredible skyline, the structure of which also has a beautiful shape and color, while also being mixed with wonderful looking surroundings. The coaster looks mighty and intimidating, giving it that thrilling look for the general public that a thrill coaster should have, while still managing to look incredibly gorgeous at the same time in my opinion. For me, I can't help but give Wodan a 10 out of 10 for how it's presented. Usually in my G-Forces category, I like to go over every relevant element on the coaster. However, Wodan is going to be an exception because of one simple reason: absolute chaos. This ride has so many twists, turns, and little bunny hops that it is very hard to take notice of every element's capabilities. The ride is extremely chaotic and throws you around like a ball on a speedboat during a storm. From the release of the chainlift hill, Wodan sends you straight down to Lateral Town, and you discover very quickly that this ride is more intense than it looks. Throughout most of the ride, you get absolutely whipped to both your right and your left side, doing its many weird and twisty elements, which GCI are known for. The lateral forces are strong and very sudden, and they often come out of nowhere, and I personally loved it, since the inside of the car you're in is covered in a soft couch-like material. Wodan also manages to have some positive force, but that's only really a bonus and it doesn't focus on it at all. What it also does have though is airtime. Many of the twists you're going to experience on this ride also have changes in elevation, making you fly upwards as well as sideways, giving you some awesome and very fast ejector airtime pops every now and then. Wodan also has a few larger hills, but something I noticed throughout my rides was that these bigger hills didn't really give any airtime near the back. However, if you're in front of the train, you get quick ejector pops going into them, making Wodan a front row ride for me. To conclude, most of Wodan's forces are quick, surprising, and they all mix to become one delicate meal with no mercy, earning Wodan a score of 8 out of 10 for its chaotic ride experience. The reason it doesn't get a 10 out of 10 is because some of the forces aren't that strong again, but they come very suddenly, which really makes them feel a lot more thrilling. And that's really what makes Wodan so great, its chaotic and surprising ride experience. Smoothness is the next category, and while many compliment Wodan for being a smooth ride, I don't agree 100% with them. I'll agree that it has absolutely no roughness and it follows the track very smoothly, but when it comes to whether or not you feel the track, Wodan has a very apparent shake to it. I gotta say though, I loved it. The shake is in no way uncomfortable and really just adds to the ride. The vibration on this ride give it a classic wooden coaster feel that gives it great charm and really makes the entire experience much cooler. I usually should judge it for how smooth it is, but since its smoothness problems pretty much make the ride better, I want to give Wodan a 7 out of 10, only taking away points since it isn't super smooth, but still giving it many points since there really is no problem to talk about in my opinion. And as a bonus, the shake also gives a very loud noise, which I love, because it also really adds to the wooden coaster feel. Now we have the ride time, and even though this is the tallest coaster made by GCI, it's unfortunately kind of short. Wodan is a great example of the common phrase, short but sweet. The coaster is over rather quickly, but it packs in a lot during the ride. Throughout the ride you will experience great pacing, and me as well as the people I rode it with agreed that it felt like it went at its top speed throughout the entire ride. It is one of the best paced coasters I have ridden, if not the best, and you feel physically drained after a ride on it. I'm going to give Wodan a score of 7 out of 10. This category isn't about how long the ride actually is in time, but how long the ride feels. And while it is on the shorter side regarding track length and actual time between the lift hill and the brake run, the pure chaos of the layout leaves you very satisfied, and it feels like your body rode a coaster for longer than it did. Europa Park is greatly known for their incredible and magical theming, and Wodan Timbur coaster is part of the reason why. First up, Wodan has one of my favorite roller coaster soundtracks, which plays at the incredibly well themed entrance. The coaster is themed to the god of the northern mythology, and throughout the queue line, you will encounter tunnels where you will go through many of the 9 realms of Yggdrasil, the Tree of Life. In all realms, you will see something different, from Thor's hammer making an entire room shake, to frozen Viking-like characters in Niflheim. The queue line is Wodan's best themed part, and the layout itself doesn't have any theming besides 2 figures at the top of the lift hill, and the music playing on the lift hill itself. So overall, Wodan Timbur coaster has really great and immersive theming, but there unfortunately isn't a whole lot of it, making me pull Wodan down to a score of 8 out of 10. Now when it comes to roller coasters, the ones that stand out amongst the others should always gain a little extra points for it in the originality category. When it comes to Great Coasters International, every coaster is a little different. GCI makes wooden roller coasters like no other company has done before, and their rides would therefore always gain a little acknowledgement for their innovation. Wodan Timbur coaster doesn't do anything extraordinary in comparison to other GCIs, except for the station flyby, which has a twist unlike normal. However, as I said, no GCI is alike, and GCIs in general are like no other wooden coasters. Wodan's layout is indeed a little different in shaping and how it uses height than most other woodies by the same company, while it still manages to practice the same trademarks GCI are known for in their layouts. I should say that Wodan is both a little unique while still just being another GCI, so I will give it a score of 5, right in the middle of the scoreboard. The final category is overall fun, and I have to just get it out and say 10 out of 10. This ride has absolutely no problem when it comes to fun factor, especially not near the front, where I personally think the airtime is best. Wodan is a super chaotic experience with an amazing wooden coaster feel, and I love it to bits. It's the type of roller coaster that makes me laugh or scream curse words throughout the entire ride. Everything from the noisy wooden coaster roar to the fast and uncontrollable transitions makes this attraction my favorite wooden roller coaster I have ridden. Our final score from the average of the 7 already given scores is at 7.9 out of 10. When it comes to an overall experience, I don't think it could have been much better. It has its small issues like lacking airtime in some rows, as well as a shorter ride duration, but I like to look past that. I came to Europa Park expecting this to be my favorite coaster at the park, since that was the popular opinion between enthusiasts, even though I was actually most excited for Silver Star. However, I now see why people love this ride so much, and I ended up loving it way more than expected. That has been it for today's review of Europa Park's Wodan Timbur coaster. Of course, if you have ridden it yourself, don't hesitate to let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Also, if you want to show your support and see whenever I upload a new video, like a review or something else, I would very much appreciate a push of the like button or the subscribe button. Otherwise, it has been Northern Rides, and I hope you all keep on riding.